everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. This is Madden 18 on EA Sports. Today's matchup features a couple of big targets who will be looking to get open in the middle of the field. It's Julius Thomas's Dolphins going up against Eiferd's Bengals. With that, let's welcome in our fine broadcast team. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
From the banks of the Ohio River, there's a look at Paul Brown Stadium here in Cincinnati, Ohio. The enthusiasm of this Cincinnati crowd in full effect a moment ago as their Bengals took the field to the delight of this sold-out crowd. And they're all set as they'll match up with the Miami Dolphins. The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. Now to return it, here's Kenyon Drake. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out now come the Miami Dolphins. They get set to go on offense. You discussed their quarterback position, Charles, into the offseason. Last year, obviously, it was Jay Cutler. Many thought that's just a one-year placeholder. And Adam Gase says he envisions Ryan Tannehill being the guy next year.
I would agree with him totally, and I'd be surprised if anything else actually happened in Miami. If Ryan Tannehill is healthy, he will be the starting quarterback in 2018. They were so excited about his progress and so fired up about what possibilities existed for him in 2017 before the knee injury. Jay Cutler, you nailed it. A one-year placeholder. They did play David Fales a lot in the last game of the regular season to see what he had, but I think there will be competition for the backup job in Miami next year, but definitely not the starter.
A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop, but that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play. Defense in a good spot. Let's see how the offense responds with a 2nd and 13 now. Here's Cutler to throw. On the left side, this is Stills. So able to break through the initial contact and then down right near the 25. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. A look now at the Miami offense. I always find it interesting that when we have conversations about the best wide receivers in the NFL, it's not often that Jarvis Landry's name rolls out right in the first group. But when you evaluate what he does overall, his body of work, his ability to break down defenses once he catches the ball and gets downfield and people bounce off of him, then you realize he's one of the top guys out there. On 3rd down, Cutler. Over the middle, it's Thomas. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle. Okay, look at this. The punt team nowhere to be found. They're on the sidelines. Offense going to go for this on the opening drive. They'll indeed go for it with Cutler. And this is incomplete. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game. And the Bengals are going to get it back in terrific field position. So shall we say a bold decision to go for it, and that bold decision does not pay off. And when you talk about bold, you're saying all caps? All caps. Yeah, without a doubt. Maybe they're telling their defense they have a lot of faith in them. I mean, that's how you have to spin it, is that you tell your defense, you know something? We were able to go for it there because you guys are so good. I'm not worried about things. That's the only explanation I can come up with in this situation. Well, he better get ready to spin it for that post-game presser because you know he's going to be out. He's going to have to spin it for his own locker room, frankly. On 2nd down, Hill's hit, and he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And his crew will take over with the football at the 35-yard line. So
So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Well, before the possession switches here, I had written down that I wanted to talk about some of the awards this past season in the NFL. We know Brady was the MVP, but Todd Gurley, Offensive Player of the Year.
How about that for a bounce back? Many were questioning whether he'd had a sophomore slump the season before. Didn't even get to 1,000 yards. Was a dominant force in 2017. How about his teammate Aaron Donald on the defensive side? He took home Defensive Player of the Year award.
Yeah, very impressive. They had both sides of the ball. Sean McVay deserving, I think you would agree, of Coach of the Year.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, what he did for the Rams when they went from last in the league in scoring to leading the league in scoring and winning a division title. And how about the New Orleans Saints? Rookie of the Year, offense and defense. Alvin Kamara on offense, Marshawn Lattimore on defense.
And this defensive line will be looking to control the point of attack.
And that's what they've done throughout this season. This is a terrific unit. They play together very, very well, and they don't permit big plays to happen.
So the incomplete pass brings up second down. From midfield now, here's Cutler. Looking again for Thomas, this time complete. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
All right, I'm doing my rudimentary math here. That's his third catch here in the first quarter. I don't know if it's just game plan or he's just finding his way open.
And maybe a little of both. Throwing again, it's Cutler. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Give him 2 yards on that play, and it'll be fourth down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. That's on target, but it's no good. He had it on line, but it came up just shy of the crossbar, and this will remain a scoreless game.
Chance there from long distance to get our first points on the board. How close was it to getting there? Pretty darn close.
Charles, we got a second here to discuss Cincinnati as their offense works their way back out there. Marvin Lewis, many thought on the way out, but now a 2-year extension, and it's 2 straight years without them being in the playoffs after 5 straight in the playoffs. Were you surprised that Marvin Lewis was given the extension?
I actually was, because he was at the end of his contract, and I thought that that was a natural endpoint for he and the Bengals, especially since, as you framed it, back-to-back years without the playoffs, back-to-back years of 7 and 9. But getting the 2-year extension tells me they're ready to rebuild. Retool this team. They've got to get better in the offensive line. They've got to get better skill position players. The defense is going to undergo some more construction now. Got a new defensive coordinator coming in. So the coaching staff, players, a rebuild in Cincinnati, and they think Marvin Lewis is the guy to guide them.
So they took a shot there on third down, couldn't get it. Now it's fourth.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on third down to bring up fourth. Yeah, this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. Miami's offense getting ready to come back out onto the field. Take a step back, Charles. You look at the Dolphins in 2017. Look, they were 10-6 in 2016. Many people thought, wow, here we go. 2017 high hopes. They limped to a 6-10 finish, however.
Yeah, and you use the word limped, and it started with the injury to Ryan Tannehill, his knee in preseason, in camp, and then they decided to bring in Jay Cutler. That didn't work the way they expected to work at the quarterback position. Jay Ajayi was a Pro Bowl, well over 1,000-yard runner the year before. The chemistry wasn't right. He gets traded to Philadelphia midseason. And Jarvis Landry, over 100 catches this year, but yards per catch, well below 10 yards. So when you add it all together, not what they expected on the offensive side of the ball.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The tight end, Julius Thomas, the intended target. And that'll bring up second down.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field that's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
To the right side here, the tight end, Thomas. It's a loss of 2, now third down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason, it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
Looking middle, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
I want to give a hat tip real quick, Charles, to J.J. Watt before the possession switches here. Walter Payton, NFL Man of the Year. They totaled up how much he helped raise for hurricane relief, $37 million.
Incredible. Hurricane Harvey, which really hit the Houston area in a big way, and his original goal was $200,000. So congratulations to J.J. Watt and all the people who participated. And Greg Olsen of the Panthers, Benjamin Watson of the Ravens, both tight ends, also nominated and finalists for the most prestigious award as determined by the NFL, the Walter Payton Man of the Year Award.
Dalton to Hill on the draw. And he'll be stopped up quickly here at the 38. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Cameron Wake coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack, and that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. CD, I want to get your thoughts on some potential free agents this offseason before we change the possession here. Now, caution, many of these guys could be re-signed, I know, but who are some of them? Kirk Cousins is one.
Yeah, we're talking about difference makers. Kirk Cousins at the quarterback position. He's going to be coveted around the league by quarterback-needy teams. Case Keenum had a big year. Could he move? But how about running backs? Le'Veon Bell, Dion Lewis, some pass catchers, Jimmy Graham, Jarvis Landry, Sammy Watkins. And about the guy who goes and gets quarterbacks, DeMarcus Lawrence had a monster year for Dallas last season.
Yeah, a lot of big names that could be out there as free agents. And Stills bringing it in. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a 1st down. On 1st and 10, it's Cutler. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll make it 2nd and short.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Cutler to throw again. And a hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
The Dolphins on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. To throw again is Cutler. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense and over the post.
Now it's Franks following the made field goal to send it away. On the return, it's Alex Erickson. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. So the football switching hands here in just a second. And, you know, Tom Brady, just to go off on a tangent for a second, may have lost the Super Bowl, but third MVP this past season, and what he did at age 40, really something, right, Charles?
Absolutely phenomenal. Ended up beating out Todd Gurley, the running back for the Los Angeles Rams. But he would have traded it for a Super Bowl win, don't you think? How about this? The last 9 NFL MVPs to play in the Super Bowl that same season, 0-9.
Yeah.
Getting all the way back to Kurt Warner in, what, 1999, where he won the double?
We were going over that stat earlier. That is hard to believe.
But he would have been the MVP had the Patriots pulled that one out.
Yeah, he still has 5 rings, though. 5 Super Bowl titles. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Ray Maualuga coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. Well, it was second long. Now it's third and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
To throw here, Dalton. And that is incomplete.
But no second guessing the call here. It was third and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
That's taken on the 25. Finds through, and now a crease. Great blocking, nearly sprung in there. 28-yard return. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10. Before the offense changes hands here, let's look back at the Super Bowl February 5th. What a game. I know you were there calling it offensively, though. Impressive on both sides.
It certainly was, and let's face it, if you're in Minnesota, it's cold outside, but you talk about the offenses, they heated up in a big way. And how about Nick Foles? The backup quarterback turned MVP. 373 yards, 3 touchdowns, and, of course, the big one receiving on the Philly special.
Quite a story. And as you and I were talking about off air, it was just a fluid game. Not a lot of penalties, just really clean play.
Exactly the type of game the NFL needed for the audiences at home watching the game and, of course, people in attendance. A really well-played game.
Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Well, a well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really...
And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Damian Williams, 42 yards. And the Dolphins add on to their lead. Well, they were just hoping that run would pick up the first. They got the whole enchilada.
And I'm so used to teams on 3rd down, doesn't matter how far they need for a first down, throwing the ball. Instead, they run it, and as you said, picked up the first down, and then some, and then some. In fact, everything, all the way for a touchdown. Terrific play.
It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And a pretty good run there in the end to top it off. Here's Franks now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals getting set to go. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
They start the drive on the ground with Hill. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
It's second down. Dalton looking. He finds Ross, right side, it's complete. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time.
Now he's hit, and Dalton lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. William Hayes in there to drop him, and sacks on first and second downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So the sack, and now it's 3rd and long for Dalton and the Bengals. So Dalton now. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Are we on the same page here, partner? Because I think they had the right idea. Just take what you can get on 3rd and forever.
Yeah, in real life, I'd say yes. It's just these video games are tempting. You want to go downfield with it.
I like the way you've evolved. You know, you've learned how to play it the Madden way.
Punting now is Huber as he sends it away. Taken in at the 22. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And it'll be Dolphin football. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on 1st down.
He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz.
And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A great play there. 46 yards. And the Dolphins are able to grow their lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And a long run there in the end to top it off. Here's Franks now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Here we go with a player spotlight, and we shine that spotlight on Andy Dalton, and he has not really been able to have a lot of comfort back there in the pocket. Pressure's been coming at him a lot, hasn't it?
And they've got to figure out how to tamp down that pressure. How do they decrease it? Is it getting rid of the football?
They go play action here on first down. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. Not a great start to this drive. You had the sack, now the false start.
I mean, it doesn't take much to either read lips or just imagine what the head coach is saying right now. Get your head in the game, guys. Let's go.
Following the penalty, it's Hill. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up.
While there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Bengals with the football to begin quarter number 2. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. Green with a catch left side. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Here's Kevin Huber now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. This is taken at the 18. A good return there, 17 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here.
Another miss.
Still on his feet. And he finally is out of bounds, but he's down inside the 20-yard line. A big play that time for the Dolphins. 48 yards on the ground. From the red zone now, here's Cutler on 1st down. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though. Huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
The gain of 5 that time gives them the conversion and makes it 1st and goal.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a run.
Well, he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. Jay Ajayi taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Dolphins add on to their lead. And certainly some credit there for that touchdown goes to the offensive line.
They never get the credit they deserve in the stat sheet, but they are the reason that they got the points. Excellent job up front, clearing the way for the score.
They'll try and run it with Ajayi. And he is into the end zone again as he scores both the touchdown and the 2-point conversion to extend this lead. And so they run it in on the 2-point try. You know, it's so often, Charles, we talk about from the offense's perspective what you do on the 2-point conversion. How about the defense? How do they play run versus pass?
It's really difficult for them because I think most teams want to play for the pass. That's what they see most teams do. And so are you able to mass enough people inside if the team decides to run it? Very difficult. I think what you're seeing a lot more now, people blitzing the 2-point conversion. They want you to make a quick decision and make it right now.
There, the offense wins the battle for 2. Getting set to go again, Andy Dalton marches back onto the field. In 2nd quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates. Find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give a little bit of help.
And Eifert has it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A big 3rd down conversion with a gain of 28.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
The play fake to Hill. Dalton. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Lawrence Timmons in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
On 2nd down, Hill. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
Throwing, Dalton. He drops it off for Bernard. Call it a pickup of 7, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's already cruised past the 100-yard mark. We haven't even gone away for halftime yet.
He might not want halftime. All right, why cool off?
Keep everybody here.
Let's stay out on the field and keep going. But all that being said, everything is really working well for them. The play calling's been excellent. The blocking's been terrific. And obviously his vision and legs have hurdled him to this big number so far. We could be seeing something really special here.
And we'll see how much they give him the ball here.
And there's a nice stop for the defense. They've had a tough time containing this guy all game long, but maybe they can build a little bit off of that play, a little bit of confidence, a little bit of momentum. Yeah, every now and then you can actually tackle that guy.
It's caught. Stills, right side. And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pickup there, a 22. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Second and 10. It's Cutler again. And this is incomplete. Kenny Stills, the intended receiver, and it's third down.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
On third down, here's Williams. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Call it a gain of 5. Fourth down now.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11.
You know what? Now and then it pays to take chances in this league. You can't play everything by the book. You're on your own side of the 50, but all you need is a few short yards. And they're able to convert to keep the drive going.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it second and 12.
So while the offense has had a big day, no one on that side of the ball is excited about seeing a loss like that. Their goal, to make every play positive. And when you have a bad one like that, your next goal is to not let it spiral into more.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
It's a lot of contact going on there. And in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Now Cutler looking to throw. It's complete. Stills. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up fourth down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
And the athleticism on the spin move allows him to pick up the first before he's brought down. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a first down.
I like the reasoning. It's too far for a field goal, and it's too short to really get a big field position edge on a punt. Let's go for it. And sure enough, it's the ground game that's able to convert for him on fourth down.
And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it, because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
On second down, Cutler. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. The Dolphin passing game rolling here. They've got another first down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Oftentimes when a guy has a game like this, he's going to take his offensive line out to dinner afterwards. But after a play like that, he may tell them, instead of getting the steaks, guys, we might have to go for the hot dogs.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to bull his way into the end zone for the Dolphins score. Jay Ajayi with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Dolphins just continue to pour it on. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And it'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
So the defense gets the stop. I know it's situation to situation, but who has more pressure there, offense or defense, when they go for 2?
I truly believe it's the defense has more pressure because the offense has an entire playbook wide open from the 2-yard line. You can run it, you can throw it. So defensively, I think most teams are going to be aggressive and force the issue and try and bring pressure.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Play fake. Here's Dalton. Looking for Green, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Here's Cutler. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Dolphins have got it on cruise control. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Getting ready to go again. Here's Andy Dalton marching back onto the field. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
Complete to the right side. It's Eifert. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Dalton throwing on 2nd down. That's caught by his tight end, Uzama. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle? I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be second and very short.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third. The Dolphins on third down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. They're up against a 3rd-and-1 situation. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Cincinnati after this. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will have the highlights and analysis of this first half from our studios in Orlando.
And I have a feeling those highlights will be pretty one-sided, too.
I think you're right, partner.
Here we go now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will not only not get the yard he needed, he goes the wrong direction. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
And they will not get the snap off here. This is going to back them up halfway.
Delay of game, offense.
They're inching closer and closer here to the wrong goal line.
When you're backed up like that, all you're trying to do is make sure you don't give up a big play, right? You don't miss an assignment that really gets you into more trouble.
And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. Jones on the return. 62 yards on the punt that time. Wow. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Here's A.J. Green as he gets set to go again on offense. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us. But sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Can you do any more work or make it more dramatic for not much gain than what we just saw there? Did you see how his toes got down? Tip-tap, got him down. But what did he get out of it?
He sold the sizzle. He just had no steak.
I mean, was it 1 yard?
Yeah, plays like that, you at least expect a first down there, just 1 yard. Third down, a shot here for Dalton. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
And he fields it cleanly. And 9 yards there on the return following a punt of 47. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here comes Jay Cutler now to lead his offense back out there. Yeah, they have had success on the ground, really as a team, doing well carrying the football. So maybe a little less pressure on his shoulders as the quarterback.
Any pressure he's carrying right now, that's self-inflicted, right? He's taking it on. He doesn't need to. Continue to do what you just said. Let everyone else carry the football. That's been effective. Don't have to worry about him throwing the ball in all the situations now. That's got to be a good feeling if he just relaxes and lets it keep coming to him.
Yeah, and relax and enjoy the second quarter lead right now. And he rifles one incomplete. Looking to go back to Thomas again. Third down here. He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long, with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart, and his pride is kicked in. Made a terrific play.
Sliding out of the pocket. Oh, and he'll just get rid of this one deep. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's fourth down. I don't know, he had to be pretty quick with his fingers to start and stop after the ball hit the ground. I'm giving him some credit.
Well, I'm thinking about the mental focus, you know?
Yeah.
The mental focus.
Yeah, that's true.
Got to stay with it.
That's true. Here we go on fourth down with Cutler. It's complete to Parker, left side. And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. They'll throw on first down with Cutler. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, second down.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
Second down now after the incompletion. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. And before they can run this third down play, we're going to get a timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number one. The Dolphins on third down. They've had a lot of chances, but not much success, converting only 3 times. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets this one across midfield for the first down to the 46. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. This was the old NFL record distance for decades, a 63-yard attempt. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
The final act of the first half, Dalton. And caught right side, Green. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
Well, certainly they haven't had the ideal first half, but there's some momentum for them to take into halftime.
Yeah, and it might not be that wild momentum, that you see sometimes where they score late and teams go sprinting off and the whole deal. No, it might not be that, but it does give them a better feeling about themselves and what they can accomplish in the second half.
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. The Bengals have really struggled out of the gate here. The Dolphins have done whatever they want, and they'll just try to keep that up in the second half. So here we go. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Third down from inside the 50. Williams has got nothing but space here, and he'll end up sprinting into the end zone, taking the lead up to 10. First and 10. Some phenomenal blocking on the run here, and he'll go in for a score. The lead grows to 17. Dolphins with the ball early in the second. Ajayi is going to take it up the middle, and this fine play drive goes for a touchdown. Dolphins up now by 25. Midway through the second quarter. They'll run it here with Jay Ajayi, and he'd go in for the 6-yard touchdown as the blowout is on. Now first and 10. Dalton's under fire and will throw the pick. Howards is the one who makes the pick, halting the offense's drive. Now following the pick, coverage breaks down here. He gone as he sprints to the end zone. The blowout rolls on. First and 10. Dalton's deep pass will pay off here, and that goes as a 47-yard touchdown. Now trailing by a huge margin.
All right, Larry, indeed a one-sided affair to this point as we get set for half two. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this is going to do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive, and we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game.
And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
On second down now, Hill, and he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
Wasn't that long ago that the NFL guys really didn't adopt much from the college game. But one thing that has crept in there is spreading things out, opening things up, not even just in tempo, but maybe getting better line splits and spreading the field.
Now he's hit, and Dalton lost the football. Touchdown, Miami. Second time he's lost a fumble. This one hurts more. It's returned for 6.
He's been under a lot of duress, hasn't he? Pressured, hurried, harassed the whole game.
Well, the offensive line not giving him a lot of help.
Not a lot of help, but the bottom line, he's got to take care of the football.
So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them. The coaches from all the way up here, they were adamant. You've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And they will set up shop, red zone territory at the 13-yard line.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Time running out here on the play clock. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there. A 13-yard touchdown run. And the Dolphins use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
Well, 3 scores in this game. I think that deserves some type of a broad gesture. I know in hockey, that's called a hat trick, and people throw their hats out on the ice. What about us? What can we do for this guy?
Well, if I'm his teammates, I'm buying him a little steak dinner tonight, right? At least a skirt steak, probably a filet.
Oh, you're going big. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, skirt at minimum,
skirt
filet
steak.
at
Come
maximum.
On. You can't give the guy a skirt steak. He scores 3 times.
Filet,
there you go.
10 ounce, 16 ounce.
Porterhouse.
Fine. Here's Franks now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
You know, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up.
When I see Cameron Wake make plays like that, I can't help but shake my head sometimes. He had to go to Canada first before he came back to the NFL, where he's now an All-Pro.
Yeah, undrafted out of Penn State, but look at him now.
And just think about all the pass rushing moves he has, his ability to play against the run. Remember, he was a combo outside linebacker, defensive end. Now he's just simply one of the best in the NFL.
Third and long. What will Dalton dial up? Gets it to his running back, Bernard. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Now a play fake here on first down. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Thomas. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Let's go! 319! 319!
They go play action with Cutler. And throw right side complete to Parker. And he's brought down. 18 big yards on that one, and a Miami first.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Play clock winding down. They snap it at 1. Now it's Cutler. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, second down.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way, so he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it, just move on to the next play.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Yeah, let me pump out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awful fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. They stay on the ground this time. It's Williams. Well, he's taken down, but not before picking up the first thanks to a flashy little spin move. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Play action. Cutler. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Thomas. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
The play clock's running down. They'll run it now out of the gun. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives them a first and goal.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. First and goal from the 8. Time running out here on the play clock. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there. An 8-yard touchdown run. And the Dolphins just continue to pour it on. And let's not forget he had the receiving touchdown earlier. Now a trio of rushing touchdowns. Quite a performance.
Diversification, that's all you can talk about. His ability to do everything leaves him on the field on every down on offense because you can hand it to him as we've seen. Would you say 3 rushing touchdowns? And, of course, throw it to him where he's caught 1 as well.
So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And the capper that put it in the end zone, a run of 8 yards. Here's Franks now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll try to get the offense going with Hill. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Second down, Dalton. And that'll be incomplete. He was looking for John Ross that time. And it'll bring up third down.
That one didn't quite make it to the target, but that's not always a function of the strength of the arm of the quarterback, is it? Sometimes there's just too much pressure there. In any case, the ball doesn't arrive.
Fakes the give to Bernard. Dalton. He's going to let this thing go deep for LaFell. And a shot taken on third down, unsuccessful. Fourth down now.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And he is going to be knocked flat on his back. Oh, a big hit at the 24-yard line. So now here come the Dolphins. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the roads
true.
will be fairly clear
that is
by the time we have to
positive.
leave the booth.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one, maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
And that one is incomplete. He just dropped it. But they're up big on the scoreboard, so maybe he can chuckle about later.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
On third down, that's Williams. And he's got room. He's got the lane, and there he goes. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Damian Williams, 77 yards. And the Dolphins have got it on cruise control. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
Now Franks for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And the finishing touch was that nice long run into the end zone. Here's Franks now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. All right, here now a look at A.J. Green. Pretty good game for him so far. I guess he's still got time here to make this a great game, but so far he's been solid.
I like where you're going with that because it has been pretty good, but there's always that hint that things can really escalate for him.
And he loses the football a second time.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. The fumble, but they're able to maintain possession. Now it's second down. Dalton off play action. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Brandon LaFell, his intended target, and it's third down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Play action here with Dalton. And unable to connect on the long pass. It falls down incomplete.
Sometimes we wonder about play calls, but this one made perfect sense to me. He's got the only touchdown that they've scored in this game. Tried to get it to him again on another deep ball.
Here's Kevin Huber now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. Fielded just inside the 30. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home, because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
Play clock winding down. They'll run it now out of the gun. Able to push his way through. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
All right, here we go. 3-19! 3-19!
They'll need to get the play off quickly. On 3rd down, it's Williams. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.
The offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3.
Here we go now. Blue 90! Blue 90!
And the play clock's running down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And some room to roam now. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a 1st down.
Brandon, this is a good spot in the field to go for it. A lot of coaches call this no man's land. A field goal is no sure thing, and neither is a punt. They made the right choice, went for it, and picked up the 1st down.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground.
All right, here we go. 3-19! 3-19!
Time running out here on the play clock. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll slice his way down to the 30 with a pickup of 7.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Play clock winding down. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Cincinnati. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. And they will take a knee here. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll need to get the play off quickly. On third down, that's Williams. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a fourth down.
We've seen this offense go for it on fourth down already on this drive. I wonder if they'll go for it again.
They certainly wouldn't rule it out with these guys. Now the offense not going anywhere. They're staying out there. They've converted once already on this drive. Here they go again on fourth down. The play clock's running down. They'll run it now out of the gun. Shedding the tackler, and it gives him some room. And they take a knee. A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11. Time running out here on the play clock. They'll run it now out of the gun. He's dropped just inside the 20. A little second effort there, but couldn't find a whole lot of space. The gain of a yard gets them back where they started. Now it's 3rd and 10.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Play clock winding down. On third down, that's Williams. And he's going to be stopped dead in his tracks at the 17-yard line. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
So another 4th down upcoming, and they're 2 for 2 already on 4th down on this drive. I think they're going to go for it again.
Seems to be their MO, doesn't it?
It certainly does. As far as this drive is concerned, they're definitely locked in and trying to pick up 4th downs.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this doesn't end well at all as they stop him far behind the line to gain. The Dolphins can't convert on 4th down, and the Bengals will get the football back. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear people protest out of them. That's just who they are.
They got 29 yards that time. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Kiko Alonso coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
It's 2nd down. Dalton looking. Open man is Uzama. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
On 3rd down, Dalton. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Jordan Phillips able to track him down for a loss of 13. And it'll bring up 4th down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. This is fielded at the 7. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And out come the Dolphins now. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a 4th down try. But they had to like the feeling that they had going on offense. They want to continue to see if they can capture that again on this drive and maybe get in the same position.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, like I said, they were moving the football. It's not like they went 4 and out, so I don't think it's a deal where the offense doesn't have confidence.
No, I agree with you totally on that one. If anything, they may have gained more confidence. Okay, they stopped us once. That's all right. Let's keep moving it. Make them do it again.
So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39. 51 to right. Yeah, let's get sack lunch.
The play clock's running down. They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, he sheds himself free. And now nothing but green ahead of him. It's a big play there for Miami. 49 yards on the ground.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Green 39. Green 39. Mike 51. Mike 51. Hey, let's go. Hey, let's go. Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense.
Time running out here on the play clock. They'll run it now out of the gun. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. Play clock winding down. They'll run it now out of the gun. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets them up now first and goal. I think this defense tired of seeing him run the football, and this D-line probably getting sick of the O-line as well.
And as I'm watching this, I'm thinking about a conversation I had with Adam Gase, the head coach of the Miami Dolphins, in the offseason. He told me that he asked his running backs each week for their favorite runs. Give me your 3 top runs. And right now, you're seeing a guy that's probably using his top runs to great advantage in this game.
He is in a zone. Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
Here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Second down, the ball on the 2 here, second and goal. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. They give him 2 yards officially, and now it'll be third and goal.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. And he will not make it to the goal line as his try for 2 is going to come up empty. But that's little consolation to this defense as they have been porous all game long. Here's Franks now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Getting set to go again, Andy Dalton marches back onto the field. So, Charles, there are the numbers. What's happened here? Defensive adjustments that's caused him to sort of fall off a bit?
I think so. That has to happen. You've got to make some changes because in the first half, they were pretty effective. But the second part is sometimes when you're doing really well, you get off your game a little bit. You get off the gas a little. You're like, okay, we've got this thing. And that's not necessarily the case. Maybe right now, someone just needs to tell a joke in the huddle, loosen things up, and get their big guy going again.
Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
And once again, Hill, he's been busy. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept...
And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. And that touchdown, well, it barely puts a dent in this lead, and Unfortunately, I'm having too many flashbacks right now. I remember getting beat down like this playing before.
Oh, yeah? College, high school?
College, not a heck of a lot of fun. I still remember playing and trying to tackle an elusive tailback who ended up scoring 4 touchdowns, 226 yards. He scored so many times and had so many great runs, I knew every note to their school's fight song.
Bet that ice bath felt extra cold afterwards, too.
Oh, no, there was no ice bath. You're just trying to get out of there before the reporters got to you.
So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. And it's finished off with a Cincinnati touchdown. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Dolphins are going to recover. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10.
Double tight, guys, double tight. Hang on now.
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. And the offense behind the chains here a touch on 2nd and 11.
Here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Watch number 5, number 5, watch number 5.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long.
But we stopped on that play. We saw plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to them the rest of the game.
On 3rd down, that's Williams. And he works 3. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that. But there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. They listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
Here's Franks now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened.
Now he's hit, and Dalton lost the football. And the Dolphins have got it.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. but it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, he shifts past him, and he'll take this one down near the 15. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Partner, how he managed to get positive yardage out of that run, I have no idea. But a little juking, a little moving, got it done.
Got him 2 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. Runs over it. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more, a little insult to injury here late in the game. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. With that, we say so long from Cincinnati.